Welcome back to my spooky channel, which everything on my channel is all Halloween and spooky stuff. So I'm back with another video here tonight, as I'm about to do another unboxing video, because everything on my channel is all Halloween and spooky. So I can't wait to do another unboxing video here tonight in my Halloween room. So, to start off the video, I have picked up a PlayStation 5, which I have been saying for a while that I wanted for a very long time, and I finally had the chance to pick one up, but we'll get to that in the last moment of the video. But right now, I'm going to show you some games that I picked up for it, and there's going to be one spooky game in the list of what I picked up. So, this purchase was from Target, because I no longer go to GameStop anymore because I do not like GameStop. So I did my purchases at Target, which, by the way, Target is a great store and they got some great electronics there, so why not? And I picked up, as you can see, here is the Target bag right here because I did an in-store pickup. And then I picked it up in the store. So I picked up 2 games for the PS5, exclusively for the PS5. And these are going to be my first 2 PS5 games. So the first game that I picked up, which this game's been out for quite some time. This was $60 when it first came out, and it was on all platforms, on Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X, PS4, and PS5. And Target, well, there was no deals on it. I thought Black Friday they might have bumped down the price maybe to like $39.99 or, $49 or something just to make it cheaper, but it ended up being the full price of when this game came out, which I believe on next gen, which I could be right about that, these games on next gen were $10 more. So if you were getting it on PS4, it was $59.99, and if you were getting it on the PS5, it was $69.99, and also on the Series X. So, but this game was actually $59.99, so it wasn't on sale. I got it for $60, and it is Hogwarts Legacy, which I've been wanting to pick up for quite some time. Like I said, I've been wanting to get this game. I didn't know what platform to get it on, whether or not I wanted to get it on any other platform, but I feel like this game would be played the best on the PS5. And like I said, I didn't want to get it for the PS4 because I still have my PS4 Pro, which is displayed in the middle shelf right there. Because I feel like that's last gen, and I feel like the graphics are going to look a lot better on the PS5. So I picked up Hogwarts Legacy, and this game has been out for quite some time. This is just the standard copy, not the deluxe. So I am a little late to the party buying this game. I know it's been out for quite some time, and I know when they came out with this game, they had the deluxe version of it. But I think that was like $300 to $400, which was super expensive. I think it came with like a magical wand and like a steel book and things like that. But I just got the standard basic copy. No need to do that now since this game's been out for quite some time. So it's on PS5. I do love Harry Potter, so I feel like I'm going to really have a fun time with this game when I'm ready to play it. Obviously, it's an RPG and things like that. It's obviously one of those like games that you just have fun playing. And it's going to look really good on the PS5. Like I said, I love Harry Potter. I love the movies, so I definitely had to pick up this game to play on the PS5, which this was actually one of the main titles that people picked up to get the PS5. So I feel like when people bought the PS5, people got it for this game only. So I know a lot of people were buying PS5s at the time for Hogwarts Legacy. So I feel like this was the type of game that a lot of people were buying the PS5 for. So obviously this is a sealed copy that I got at Target. And it's great to actually have a PS5 game in my hand, actually, instead of just a PS4 game, which I only have like 3 or 4 PS4 games on my shelf. So this is the first PS5 game, Hogwarts Legacy. So I cannot wait to play that over time, which I feel like this game is going to be a long game. I can just see because of the storyline. So I am going to be taking my time with this game. I know this game's going to take me a while to like complete it because there's so much stuff in it. And I think there is DLC in this game, obviously, which you could purchase. So I am going to play this game at some point on my PS5. That was $60. And then I also picked up one more game as well, which this was actually discounted for $40 during the Black Friday deals, but I waited a little bit too long, and I actually ended up getting it at full price for $60. And I've been wanting to play this game since it came out back in September. I picked up Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed. So this is actually a remastered version that was on the Wii at the time. And they also had it on the Wii U, which was Epic Mickey 2, I believe. I never actually played the Epic Mickey games. I did have it on the Wii, but I never ended up playing it. I think the disc was really scratched and it wasn't really playing. So this is actually going to be my first experience playing Disney Epic Mickey Rebrushed. What rebrushed means, it's obviously like a remake. It's the same exact game that was on the Wii, but they just rebrushed it and remastered it. So I cannot wait to actually play this game first on my PS5. I'm super excited. Like I said, this was $60. I know Black Friday it was $40, so I could have saved like $20 on it. But at the time, I had no intention of buying it yet. And this is also on all platforms as well as the Switch, Series X, and PS5. I think they were going to make this for PS4, which I was planning on getting it for the PS4 at the time. But they didn't actually have it for PS4. I think it never even released for PS4. I have not seen it. And I know it's also out for the Switch as well. But I can't wait to play this game. This is obviously sealed as well. It looks really fun. I'm a huge Disney fan. As you can see, I'm wearing the Nightmare Before Christmas hoodie, so I love Disney. So I'm definitely going to have a really fun time with this game to play as Mickey, as your main character. It just looks really fun if you look in the back of the game. There are the basic graphics, and I feel like it's going to look really good on the PS5 with all the colors and everything like that. I feel like this game is going to look really, really good and sharp and vibrant. So I can't wait to play this game first on my PlayStation 5. So those are the two PS5 games that I picked up. But now we go to the spooky side, because I recently just picked this game up a few days ago. So we'll put those to the side for just a moment. I also picked up one more game that I've been wanting to play as well. Since this is my spooky channel, it's got to have something spooky in it. I picked up Goosebumps Dead of Night for the PS4. Now, this is a pretty old game. It's been out for quite some time. I know this first started on the PC. I know this was available on PC first, and then they made it for the consoles. It's also for Switch and Xbox One as well. But yeah, I've been wanting this game for quite some time. I just haven't had the chance to find it. And I actually wanted the actual physical case for it because I want to collect it on my shelf. So I was kind of skeptic. I didn't want to get it off GameStop because they're going to give me the copy, but it might just be just a disc in like a refurbished like case, and I might not get the actual artwork. But I actually ended up finding this at GameStop in the pre-owned section. I got lucky. I went in the store and it was right there. Like I said, I don't like GameStop. I don't like shopping there, but I had to, obviously I had like a trade credit with like $30 on it. So I had no other choice. But I ended up finding this, and I can't wait to play this. This is like more of like a horror survival game. As you can see, it says you're in for a scare. And then it says monsters, puzzles, jump scares, and exploration. So this is actually takes place. I don't know if it actually takes place from the actual movie or it actually takes place from the series, which I don't think it is, unless it's like a mixture of everything. But you see Slappy on the main cover right there with the Goosebumps Dead of Night. I really do like the artwork with this. As you can see, it just looks really, really cool. I like what they did with it. And I love Slappy. He's one of my favorite Goosebumps characters. And there it is. And obviously, as you can see, I got a warranty on it just in case there's something wrong with the disc since it's used. But I really, like I said, I really do like the artwork with this. I never had the chance to actually play this game, so I'm super excited to test this out at some point on my PS5. So it does look really, really good. Like I said, if you love Goosebumps, you would definitely want to pick up this game. Haven't played it, but I do plan on playing it. So I'm super excited for that. So I am going to be playing Dead of Night at some point. So I'm super excited for that. I managed to actually find it. I got it for $18, which I think when this first came out, it was like $29.99 or $39.99, if I believe. So it is pre-owned. So obviously, you get a really cheap deal on it since it is a pre-owned game. Because I know it was out for all platforms. I think on the Switch, it had to be like $39.99. And then I think on PS4 and Xbox One, it was $29.99, I believe. So if I remember correctly. And I know you could just download this game off the PlayStation Store, obviously. But I don't want to do that because I like physical copies still, and I like to display it on my case. So I can't, and I like to display it on my shelf. So I cannot wait to play this game when the time comes. I love Goosebumps, obviously, so I can't wait to play Dead of Night on the PS5, which I feel like it's going to look good optimized on PS5 since this is a PS4 game. So put that to the side for just a moment, and we're going to get to the main attraction. So before we get to the actual unboxing video, I'm going to do a little rant about this because it was one of those things where I wasn't sure whether or not it was worth it. I had all this bunch of credit, so I tried to do my research for quite some time as I was on the hunt of buying a PS5. I still currently, like I said, own my PS4 Pro, which is in the middle of my shelf right there. I've had it since launch, and I love it. I don't really play it much, but, you know, I think it was over time I was ready to upgrade to a PS5. And I know the PS5's been out since 2020. It's been out for 5 years now, and we're almost, you know, closing in on this generation of gaming. But you know, I kind of did my research for quite some time on what PS5 I wanted to get. And I know that they no longer sell the big version from 2020. They discontinued that. They obviously are selling the slims of taking its place. So I was on the verge of whether or not I get a PS5 Slim all digital or a PS5 Slim with the disc drive. So that's where I was kind of skeptic on what I wanted to get to see what would fit my needs. Because I'm just a casual gamer. I'm not really one of those top gamers. So I wanted to try to get something that would fit my needs as well. And I know the all-digital PS5 Slim was discounted during the holidays. I think that was like $430 or $440. And then the disc drive PS5 Slim was, I think, $470. So they had a good discount on it. Then I wasn't sure. So I kind of sat on it for a while with all this credit, trying to figure out what would fit my needs the best. And like I said, this purchase was from Target. But I'm going to do a little bit of a rant video because I decided as I sat through it, the PS5 Pro came out in November, which is the newest system to the Sony lineup. And I ended up getting the PS5 Pro from Target. So before I actually unbox this, which I'm super excited to actually be holding this in my hands, I'm going to do a little bit of a rant video. Well, not really a rant video, but a little bit of some confusion with this, you know, with this release, basically. I know that this was available for pre-order at some point. I knew that Sony was going to be coming out with a PS5 Pro at some point because they do it every year. You know, for the PS4, they had the original PS4, PS4 Slim, and then they had the PS4 Pro. So they did the same thing this year with the PS5. They went with the PS5 in 2020, PS5 Slim, and PS5 Pro. And I knew that they were going to come out with one for quite some time. It was just a matter of when and what it would look like and what the price range would be. And then they released it on their Sony Direct, apparently, out of nowhere, which I didn't even know about it. And this thing was, the first thing I saw is this thing was $700. That's right, $700 was the thing that caught my mind with the PS5 Pro. And I know a lot of people are obviously not happy with that price point, which I don't blame them. I think that's a crazy amount. But like I said, I had a lot of credit, so it was worth it for me getting it, because I figured if I'm going to go with a PS5 and if this thing is going to last me a couple of years, I might as well go with the best of the best. And this, like I said, came out in November. It came out of nowhere. Once I found out this thing was $700, I said, no way. The PS5 Pro is not worth it. As much as I was waiting for a Pro console like the PS4 Pro, there's no way in the world I am spending $700 on a PS5 Pro. The price point is just ridiculous, considering that the PS4 Pro was $399 when that first came out. So Sony obviously jumped the price $300 more on the PS5 Pro. But like I said, I had a bunch of Target credit, so this didn't cost me anything whatsoever, if you are wondering. So the price point is just completely ridiculous out of center field. I don't know why Sony would even come out with a $700 freaking console. It makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, the PS5, like I said, has been out since 2020. It's been out for 5 years now, next generation. And even when the PS5 came out, I felt like there wasn't a lot of games out. There wasn't a lot of exclusives out for it. And I know that when that came out, that system was only $500. And I know at some point they made bundles that came with games and they were like $700 to $800 at the time. And I know a lot of people were going with the Slims just because the Slims were the cheaper option and they felt like they didn't need all the bells and whistles. And like I said, with the $700 price point, it really took out a lot of people buying this thing and they just ended up buying the Slim. Not saying people didn't buy the Pro, a lot of people did, but the price range really got people out of control. I mean, I do agree the $700 is worth it. It's not worth it, but there is a few complaints, not only the price, which is a huge factor, but this doesn't even come with a disk drive. So there was a rumor before the PS5 Pro was coming out, and I will get to the unboxing in a moment. I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit. There was a rumor that the PS5 Pro, if it ever came out, which it did, would have a separate disk drive, which a lot of people didn't believe it. They thought it was crazy, but it actually ended up happening, a detachable disk drive. So you would have to buy the disk drive separately. And altogether, if you really add this up, if you were actually buying this thing outright at any other store, like I said, I got this at Target, it's $6.99. And then with tax, it comes out to like $7.30, $7.40, depending on your location. And then the disk drive, as I did the math, is $79. So on top of that, you're paying an extra $80 for a disk drive. And, you know, I think about it, like this system is $700. There is no reason why Sony couldn't put a disk drive attached to this. There's no reason why they couldn't do it for the price point. I feel like with the price point, why do you have to go and spend an extra $80 on a disk drive when it should have just came with it with the amount of money that this is? It makes no sense. I don't understand what Sony was thinking doing this. They've never made a stupid move like this before. I don't know what they're thinking. I think they're just money hungry at this point and they're just becoming greedy. And it's like really turning me away of Sony, and it's starting to make me be like, okay, I like Xbox better or Nintendo better at this point. I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand their logic throughout this. They figure people are going to do it anyway. But, you know, I don't understand this. I feel like for the price, why did they have to make a detachable disk drive? I know a lot of people are figuring to themselves, yes, this is an all-digital console. Maybe a lot of people don't play discs anymore, and they feel like that's just an extra accessory that you really don't need, or you need if you really want it. But at the same time, I feel like I said, for $700, it should have came with a disk drive. So technically, this is an all-digital console by itself, unless you buy the disk drive separately. Which I did. Because, like I said, I bought those physical games, and if I didn't buy a disk drive, I would have not been able to play it. I would have to actually download those games digitally. So I actually ended up, I went to Target, and I asked them before I purchased, or before I realized I was going to buy a PS5 Pro, I asked them if they had any of the disk drives. They did not have any. They didn't know when they were getting them in. GameStop obviously didn't have them. Best Buy didn't have them. Walmart didn't have them. Amazon had them, but they were scalping prices, so I started to notice that the prices were going a little bit up and expensive. So I feel like scalpers were buying like 6 of them, and they were charging like double the amount of money, which it's $80. So I was seeing like $150, $160, $200, which was crazy. But I ended up buying one off eBay, actually, and it is brand new. So this is the PS5 disc drive. This one, I ended up spending a little bit more money for it. So this wasn't $80. This was like $110, which isn't bad. So I actually paid like $25 more, which it's more than the actual retail price. So it wasn't bad. I figured I follow up on it and I get it. The seller had like 3 left, and I figured if I didn't get this deal, it would have been more money, and I probably would have never even gotten it. But the box is super huge. For some odd reason, the box is really super huge. I don't know why they made the box so big. But yeah, here it is. It tells you how to do it. I'm not going to unbox this on my on this video. I am going to be actually installing this at the end of the video, not being filmed, but I am going to see how I can install this on the PS5 Pro, which they say it's very simple if you actually look at the YouTube tutorials. they'll show you how to do it. It's a very simple thing, obviously. It kind of shows you in the back how you really do it. You just remove the plate and then there's clips, but I'm not going to be doing that on the video. I'm just showing you that I picked up the PlayStation 5 disc drive, as you could see, and it is sealed by Sony. So I am going to be installing that after this video on my PS5 Pro, and they say, like I said, it's a very simple thing to do. It's not hard. So I'm going to figure out how to do that at the end of this video. And I also found out, too, that it did not come with a vertical stand, nor the PS5 Slim Digital or the PS5 disc drive didn't come with a vertical stand. They came with those little clear ones. So I ended up picking up the vertical stand on Target's website. And this was about $30. So altogether, I feel like with this purchase, I spent like $150 altogether, which isn't bad whatsoever, considering this thing is $700. But this is the vertical stand for the PS5. This is compatible for the Slim version, obviously, and it is $30. I don't know why Sony didn't include it with the PS5 Slims and the Pros. I know they included this stand with the OG model. I don't know why they took it out. I don't know. Like, they give you ones, but they're super cheap. And also, this could also be installed on the PS5 Slim All Digital. It just can't be installed on the OG PS5. So be aware. So if you are buying this and you buy a PS5 All Digital, you can install this on there. It's not just on the Pro. So be aware of that. It just won't go on the original. So, I mean, that's just that as well. I don't know why. So I ended up buying the stand, like I said, because I do plan on having my PS5 Pro standing up vertically. So I am going to be installing this as well at the end of this video. So it is going to take me time before I actually start playing it tonight. So that's what I picked up. But now we're going to get to the main attraction, and that is what this video is about, the PS5 Pro. I just don't understand what Sony was thinking when they released this thing. I feel like there's just so many things missing out of the $700 console. Like, it obviously is more specs. It's more powerful than the original PS5, obviously. Obviously, it's a Pro console, so it's going to be a lot faster as well. But let's take a look at the packaging. So you get that black back like it would as it was a digital console, because all the digital PS5s have that black back, and then the disc drive ones have the white background. But it does say Sony up top. The box is actually kind of heavy, and it is kind of thick up top, which is kind of surprising. I don't know if it's as big as the original PS5 box, but it kind of does have that look that it kind of does look like that the box is big. And I know if I did get the Slim, the box would be a lot more smaller, obviously. But yeah, it looks like this is a pretty heavy console. I mean, it's not that heavy, but the box is pretty big considering that this isn't a huge console. So anyway, it does say Sony up top. It shows you a picture of the PS5 Pro on the cover. It does say PS5 Pro, PlayStation 5 Pro. So really not much going on with the box there. Like I said, I know with the PS4 Pro, they kind of had a little bit more extra to the packaging. And it is 4K in 120 FPS, HDR, and disc-free gaming. Thank you for Sony for letting us know that it's disc-free, like we couldn't tell. As well as that. But like I said, I mean, is the Pro going to be worth it at the end of the day? It's what you like. If you like those extra specs in games, then the PS5 Pro is worth it for you. I know the price range is still ridiculous, and it's tons of money. But if you don't care about the extra specs, and if you already have the original PS5 or the Slim, there is no reason to pick up a PS5 Pro. There is no reason at all. I know you're going to say you're going to get the extra, the extra graphics and stuff like that. Not worth it. For me, it is because I've never had a PS5, so for me, it's worth going with the Pro. But if you already have the OG PS5 or the Slim or the Disc one, don't upgrade to a PS5 Pro. There is no point. Just for the specs you would, and you probably wouldn't even see much of a difference, to be honest. Hold on to your OG PS5 and hold on to your Slim. Do not get the Pro. Only get it if you don't have a PS5. So that's my theory with that. So on the side over here, it says PS5 Pro, as you can see, and I do plan on keeping this box as well. And then it says contents. It says PlayStation 5 Pro console, DualSense wireless controller. It also has 2 horizontal stand feet, which I won't be using, HDMI cable and AC power cord. It also has a USB cable, printed materials, and it also has a pre-installed game of Astro's Playroom, which we've gotten on the original PS5. So I don't know why they've actually... So technically they actually gave you a free game, which they've had that on the OG PS5. So I feel like they could have actually gave you a game with this for the price range. I mean, if this was bundled with like an extra controller or an extra game, then maybe the $700 price point would have been fine. But they're not really giving you much for what they're expecting with the price with this. And then the side of it, they show you the PS5 Pro standing up vertically with the DualSense controller. And then in the back, it has your basic information in the back. So in the back of it, it does say wireless play, witness play unleashed. PlayStation special super resolution. Get super sharp image clarity on your 4K TV using all enhanced resolution for ultra high definition play with and astonishing detail. Optimize console performance, reach higher and more constant frame rates for silky smooth gameplay with support for VRR, 60 Hz, and 120 SZ displays. Interesting. Advanced ray tracing. Experience next level realism with ray tracing, reflection, shadows, and high quality global illumination as you explore stunning game worlds on your PS5 Pro. So they're actually saying that, yeah, this is a more powerful PS5, which obviously it is. If you want all the specs, obviously, you're going to be getting it with the PS5 Pro. And also, too, this is a 2 terabyte. So this has more terabytes than the original PS5. I believe it's 2 terabyte, unless I'm wrong. But I figure with the price range of it being $700, it's got to be at least a 2 terabyte. I'm not really actually seeing that on the box. It's not really saying it's 2 terabyte on the box. But I believe it is, because I figure the original PS5 was like 600 or 700 gigs, and then the PS5 Slim was a 1 terabyte. Same with the disk drive one. So I'm assuming this is a 2 terabyte, but for some reason it's not stating it on the actual box. I don't know why. Usually it does. But I do think, yes, I think you are getting a 2 terabyte storage, which to me is more than enough. Because my original PS4 Pro was a 1 terabyte, and I have like 3 games on it, and I never ran out of space on that yet because I don't play a lot of games. So I feel like 2 terabyte would last me forever, depending on the games that I play, which I don't really play a lot of games that take up a lot of space. But if you are planning on downloading a lot of games that take up a lot of space, and even with the disc, you will notice that it is going to use up some storage, but with the 2 terabyte, it's going to last you a very long time. So without any further ado, let's unbox the PS5 Pro. So let's take a look at it as I'm going to try to do this. I do have a little nickel here that I'm going to open up the seal. So here is the seal. This is, like I said, this is a pretty hefty box. This video is going to be a little bit long, so just try to stay tuned to this video if you want to watch the whole thing. I know my last video I did the Xbox Series S, which you could check that out on my older videos that I recently did. Which my Series S is displayed on my shelf right there. So if you haven't checked that out, you could check out my unboxing of the Series S. So there is the seal right here. So I am going to be opening it. Like I said, and there it is right there. No scissor. I just used a nickel. So the seal is officially opened, and let's take a look at the PS5 Pro. I'm actually getting kind of excited. I know I kind of ranted about it a little bit. Like I said, there's a lot of complaints about this system, but I feel like once I have it, I'm really going to enjoy it, and I feel like I'm really going to actually see this, because I feel like go big or go home. You know, if I'm going to get a PS5, I might as well get the best of the best at this point, because the system will last me a couple of years, so I might as well just get the best out of it, and I might as well just get the best one. So anyway, I'm super excited. Like I said, it's still a PS5 Pro at the end of the day. And like I said, this is the newest release for Sony because the Slim's been out for like 2 years now. So that's not really anything new. But this is the newest because it came out in November. And I feel like I kind of made the right decision, because then I feel like if I would have gotten the Slim, I would have been like, well, with the amount of money I had, I would have not paid anything for the Pro. So that's why I ended up going with the Pro. But anyway, it's the same packaging as you would expect if you got the original PS5 back in 2020. So I'm actually going to stand up here just so because I know with Sony, it's kind of hard to get it out of the box, and I don't want to damage this box. So I'm going to try to like slide it out. I think that's one of the keys of getting this box out of this. Yep. And like I said, I'm sliding it out. That's the best way to do it. I know a lot of people said if you're going to open up a PS5, you just got to slide the box out. So there's the box right there in perfect condition, so nothing happens. So we're going to put the box to the side for just a second, and we're going to take a look at the PlayStation 5 Pro is what we're here on this video here tonight. So here is the box. It says the Sony logo in the middle like it did back in the 2020 PS5. And then there's a little serial number here. I don't know why that's there, but I guess it's just the manufacturing serial number of the PS5 Pro. So I am going to be taking a look at it. So I'm going to be standing up this way as I am filming on my iPad 10th generation. I do have that smart keyboard to hold it into place. So try to bear with me as I try to get that perfect camera angle. So as we open it up, packaging looks a little bit different compared. I don't know if I might have opened that up wrong. Actually, I think I might have opened that up upside down, a matter of fact. Yes. I actually ended up opening that up upside down because I looked at it and the console was right there. I think I got to open it up this way because that's where all the, that's where all the accessories are. Yep, I knew it. Anyway, I had it upside down. The first thing we get inside the box is we do get our power cord. So this is the standard PS5 power cord, which you would get with the standard one and the slim. So nothing's changed there. So we are going to take this little twisty tie off of it. And this would power up your PS5 as this will plug in to the wall or whatever you have. So there's that. So I'm going to put everything back in the box like the ties, just as it was. And then over here, this is what I was talking about. This is the cheap little stand that they include. I'm not even going to use these because I'm not, this is only if I'm displaying it flat on my shelf, which I'm not doing. I'm going to show you anyway what these are. These are the little 2 stands that Sony includes. I think these are just completely stupid. I don't even know why they even came up with these. Like I said, this is a $700 console, and they're putting these little stupid cheap things in there. I mean, really, Sony. I mean, you could have at least included that stand with it. I mean, really. Anyway, I'm not going to use these because this is if I'm laying the system flat, which I'm not doing. These are just really cheap. I feel like these are not sturdy. I feel like it's going to move a lot with these. I'm not even going to use these. I'm just going to wrap them back up there. I just feel like this is just a useless thing to have. I mean, like I said, I don't know why. Like I said, this is a $700 console, and there is no reason why they should give you these little cheap little plastic feet thing, is what they're calling it. Completely stupid. I mean, I'll hold on to it. I might as well just hold on to it. I'm not going to package it. I just think it's completely stupid. But I'll put it to the side anyway, because that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to put this back in. And now we're going to get to see what's next. So on the side here, we do have our USB cable. So this is what will charge the DualSense controller. So same with the PS4 one. I don't know if the PlayStation 4 one, because I do have the charger for that, I don't know if that can charge the DualSense. I think it may not. I think this charger is a little bit different for the DualSense one, so I don't think my PS4 charger will work. For the PS5 controller, I could be wrong. Comment in the comment section below. And then over here, you have your high-speed HDMI cable. I don't know what number this one is, but I'm sure, I mean, the HDMI definitely looks a lot more chunkier on the PS5 Pro. I don't know if that looks like that on the slim version or the OG one. I don't really know. But comment again on the comment section. Maybe the Pro just has these 2 big prongs here because it is a very powerful console. And I'm assuming this is going to be the most powerful console on the market. It might even be more powerful than the Xbox Series X, depending on, because the Series X did come out in 2020, and this system came out in November. So I'm assuming this is going to have more power than the Series X, I could believe, in Sony's way. So this is the high-speed HDMI cable, which you would need. And then over here, you will get the DualSense controller, which this is the first time I'm actually going to hold on to one. I've never actually held the DualSense controller because I was so used to the OG PS4 one. So let's take a look at the DualSense controller. So here it is. Just a standard PS5 controller as we all seen. So this is the same exact one that came with the original PS5 back in 2020. I feel like they should have done something a little bit different with this. Since this is a Pro console, they could have gave you like the Pro controller of it. Just a high-tech, better controller I feel like they could have done for the price point. You know, add the extra, $100 in there for the extra controller. That's what they could have done, but they just gave you a standard PS5 controller. which, whatever. It does what it's got to do. Like I said, I feel like Sony is just, you know, just chipping out any type of money that they can at this moment. So put that to the side, which I will say the PS5 controller does feel very nice. It does feel very clicky. It feels more best technology. Obviously, you got the touchpad here, and you got that special effects that you don't have on the regular PS4 controller, which I would do the comparison, but the controller's over there for the PS4 Pro. So there's the PS5 DualSense controller. And now for the main attraction, we are going to get to the PS5 Pro itself. So I'm going to actually see what this thing looks like. Never seen it up close or in person before. I have seen other YouTube videos of it before and unboxing videos of it, but I never seen it in person. So we're going to check that out right now. And there is another compartment here that we're going to flip open. Like I said, I had to stand up on this video just because I wanted to get a full preference of the actual console itself. So now let's take a look at this, and let's take a look at the PS5 Pro for the very first time. Like I said, this is a really long video. If you're staying with me, thank you for staying with this video. Like I said, the ranting kind of took some time on this video. I am running on 35 minutes right now, going on 36. So it's close to an hour-long video. Not as long as I wanted to go, but like I said. So anyway, here's the PS5 Pro manual, which, by the way, is pretty thick. There's a lot of pages in it, which I don't remember the guide being this much. I mean, I guess because it's a Pro console, there's a lot of information. I might actually read that, actually, just in case I have trouble setting this up, which I feel like I won't. It does say PS5 Pro on the side, so you know that this is an official PS5 Pro. Actually, if you actually look through it, it actually shows you how to put the disk drive in, the installation. So I might actually read this just in case I struggle, but I might just watch a YouTube video of that anyway, of the installation process. So I might not need this, but we'll put that to the side for just a second. And now, but the main oh, and then there's also something else in here. You get another quick start guide, so you get another one. This is just, again, to set it up and how you put the disc in, which is self-explanatory. So put that to the side again. And last but not least, here is the PS5 Pro console itself. So it does have these egg cartons on the side holding it into place, which I feel like Xbox does a better unboxing and a better presentation than Sony. I feel like Sony doesn't really give that much of a presentation. They just, I mean, it's cool, but I feel like Xbox does a better job with their packaging. But anyway, let's take a look at the PS5 Pro. So I'm pulling it out. Let's take a look at this bad boy. And we're going to take a look, because I know the PS5 was like big and chunky and very, very heavy and bulky, and it looked really, really big on your entertainment system or on your shelf. So with the Pro, they obviously went a little bit more slimmer and thinner, just like they did with the Slim. So we're going to remove the cartons like this. I'm probably going to hold on to these just in case I want to put it back in the box if I have to like move, like if I have to bring it somewhere. It's good to hold this into place too. So we're going to just put the egg cartons back in the box for just a second. And now let's get to the main attraction, and this is the PS5 Pro. And as you can see, as I pick it up, it does feel like it's got some weight to it, but it's not astonishingly heavy. So it's got some weight, and it's also a little bit light. And they also put this like styrofoam packaging on it to keep it in place. So let's take a look at it. Let's reveal the PS5 Pro right here, as they're calling it. So as we're opening it up right here, I'm trying to get the camera angle as best possible way as I actually unwrap this, like I said. And let's take a look. Well, for a minute, let's actually get this. Let's pull the system out. Just a moment. Let's try to put the packaging in the box so we could actually take a look at the Pro itself. So I'm going to try to fold it as neat as possible so I could put it back in the box, just like that. And now, without any further ado, let's take a look at the PS5 Pro. So this is what it looks like from the bat, and I will tell you, this is actually really, really light. So I'm picking it up. It does look like it's a little bit thinner compared to the original PS5. So they did thin it out. Up top, it does look like it's a little wide, but it looks really sleek. So they added like this glossy design in the middle. As you can see my reflection. So they kind of kept that glossy look, which I kind of wish they didn't do, just because it gets fingerprints over time if you are going to be holding the console. And then on the side, it does have your Sony logo as expected. And over here, as you could see, you could plug in the controller over there. So this is the digital side of it. Obviously, there is no disk drive. I would have to install one, which would go right over here. And this part is what's going to... So let's just look at the back first. You see all the hookups. So it looks like nothing has changed in the back. There's your ventilation in the back. And now the part that I'm really excited for is the actual look of the system. So they kind of added, if I could try to turn it around, they added like this, like these 3 lines. So since this is a spooky channel, I'm going to call it the rib cage. So they kind of added these 3 little rib cages in the middle on both sides to tell you that this is a Pro version. Because if you remember the PS4 Pro, they had the 3 tiers, which I'm looking at it right now on my middle shelf. So they kind of did the exact same thing, except they added like 3 lines on the side. So I'm calling these the rib cage, like the spooky rib cage on the PS5 Pro. So you get these 3 little lines here. These don't really do anything. This is just the design and the look of the console. I think it looks pretty cool, honestly. I really like what they did with that. I know with the Slim, you're not going to get those lines. You're just going to get that little middle line in the middle, and that's it. With the Pro, you are getting these 3 black lines, or should I say the 3 spooky rib cages on both sides. So I think that looks really cool. I really like what they did with this. I think the design is pretty cool. I mean, it just looks like a standard PS5, but by looking at the sides, you could already tell from the back that it is a Pro console because of what they did with the 3 lines there. So you could tell off the bat, if somebody has this on their shelf, that this is indeed a PS5 Pro. So I really like this system. It is super light. Like I said, I feel like I'm going to have no issues fitting this on my entertainment. You know, I feel like I'm going to have no issues putting this on my shelf. I feel like I'm going to have no issues because it is super thin. It's got some weight, like I said. It's not fully light, but it is a lot sleeker and slimmer than the original PS5. Now, if I look on the bottom, if I am going to be putting this vertically, there is a little black thing there, which I would actually have to pop out to put it on the stand. So they do say to hold on to that just in case. I mean, you don't have to. You could have it missing. But I feel like I'm going to hold on to that little piece. So you want to pop out that little piece like they did with the original, and you could prop it on the stand. So this is where the stand would go on the bottom right there. And then if I do have to do the disc drive, I believe I have to pull either this part up or this part up, which I will look at the instructions as I do it. Or I think I pull this part up. I think this comes out. And then you put the disc drive right in the middle. So this faceplate is going to come off as I put the disc drive on, and it's going to replace another faceplate where the disc drive version is. So this part is going to be coming off, and it's going to be a little bit chunkier with the disc drive from the side once I install it. So there is, I know this video was running for 42 minutes. Like I said, it went a little bit longer than my last video of the Xbox Series S. And it is running a little bit longer than my Series X unboxing. But like I said, I wanted to rant about it a little bit. But I feel like I'm going to enjoy this system a lot. Now, do I feel like this system is worth $700? Absolutely not. I mean, just by holding it, it's a nice console. It is a Pro system. I could definitely tell by the looks of it with the 3 rib cages on the side. But is it worth $700? Absolutely not. I don't think it is. I think this system, I think if I was Sony, I would have made this like $570, $580, maybe $600 the most, but that's it. I mean, no, I even feel like $600 is a lot. I think I still would have made this system like $550. I would have made it like $50 more than the original PS5. I would have probably made it a little bit more money than the PS5 Disc Slim. Either way, this does not feel like a $700 console. It is very, very nicely built, but I still don't think it's worth the price range of $700. But the thing is that you got to think about it as this system is going to play a lot of great games. There are some great games coming out, and I know that there's going to be certain games that are going to be optimized for PS5 Pro. So that's another reason why the PS5 Pro, I think, is a good buy, because there are going to be games that are going to be exclusive only for the PS5 Pro that they're going to run a lot better on over time. So I feel like the Pro is definitely the way to go, because you will see those sharper images and you will see those optimized games on PS5 Pro that you're not going to see with the PlayStation 5 Slim. So that's another reason why. But again, with the price point and no disc drive and no stand, with the price point, it's just horrible. It's just a horrible price point. I feel like Sony should never do that again. But anyway, I feel like I'm going to enjoy the system. I am going to be playing Epic Mickey first on this. So I'm going to be spending a lot of time with this, as it's going to go on the side with my Series S and my PS4 Pro. So I am going to be enjoying this as well. I do have the Series X in the other room. But anyway, there is the PS5 Pro that I got from Target. I know when I bought it, they had like 2 left or 1 left, so I managed to actually get one. I went up to the guy, I asked if he had any PS5 Pros, and he said he had like 2 in stock. They've been sitting there since the holidays, so I feel like nobody was really buying them. But anyway, I got it from Target, the PS5 Pro. Leave your comments down in the comment section below if you guys have picked one up as well. Do you think it's not worth it? Please, give me your honest opinion on the bottom in the comment section. Is the PlayStation 5 Pro worth it? Tell me no. Tell me no. That's what I want to hear. If it is, if you have it and you've been playing it and you think it's amazing, please let me know as well. I'm going to be spending a lot of time with this. I am going to be installing the disk drive and the vertical stand at the end of this video, which I'm not going to be filming that, by the way. But yeah, there is the PS5 Pro. Like I said, this thing's going to last me a couple of years, so I'm excited to enjoy the next top gaming of the PS5 Pro. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back with another video, and thank you for joining me on my spooky channel, where everything is spooky with the black rib cages in the middle. Thanks for watching.